Good day, everyone. So today we shall be considering metal work, and the aspect we want to focus on is cutting and driving tools. These two tools are very, very essential that we learn how to use them. We're going to know their categories, we're going to understand their functions and their application for precision, okay, in metal work. Right, so let's dive into this. Okay, so let's start with the cutting tools. The cutting tools are shaping tools. Okay, they are fundamental for shaping materials through sawing, filing, chiseling, or scraping. Each of these tools serve a specific purpose in the process of metal working. So some of them are the axle, we have the files, we have the chisel, we have the scrapers. For the axle is for cutting metals available in adjustable uh, forms. We also have the tubular form and the junior type. We're going to look at that in details. For files, we use file for shaping and finishing metals by bead by bead removal, removing the bead one after the other. Then for the chisel, it's a cutting tool that is primarily used for shaping metals where other methods are not suitable. So in a case where files cannot help out or axle cannot help out, then the chisel come in. And lastly, we have the scraper. The scraper removes imperfections from surfaces after filing. So after you have done the work of filing, then you use the scraper to perfect the work. Okay, so these are the various type of cutting tools we have. Now let us go into details on axle. The axle, like I said earlier, is a vital tool in metal workshop. Consists of frame and blade, as you can see here. So this is the frame, and this is the blade. The blade is what actually does the work of cutting. It is attached to the frame. It's the frame that carries the blade, and this is the handle. All right. So it has different types. We have the adjustable one. This is the adjustable one here, where you can put different blades of different sizes. Okay, this is where you can unscrew and screw. Aside from the adjustable axle, we also have the tubular axle. The tubular axle is not adjustable, it's a fixed one, that's a fixed frame for consistent use. This is it here. So it's not adjustable, it's just fixed the way it is. And then the last one is the junior axle. This junior axle is ideal for cutting very thin metal sheet. This is it here. So this is the blade part. It is for cutting a very, very thin metal sheet. So it is very, very important that we choose the right axle depending on the purpose so that we ensure efficient and accurate cut. All right? Very, very important that we choose the right one depending on the work we want to use them for. All right? So let's talk about the next cutting tool, which is the files. The file is another shaping and finishing tool. They are actually essential for forming metals to shape and achieving desired finishes. Okay, so I won't use the axle to do your cutting. It's not enough. So you may have it to smoothen the metal too. That's where the files come in. So they come in different grade depending on the purpose. We have the rough grade files. We use it for heavy material removal. This is how it look like. The cutting area. This is how it look like for removing heavy material. And also we have the bastard grade files. We use this one for cutting, for medium cut and general shaping. This is it. Okay. And then we have the second grade file. We use it for lighter cut and finer work. This is how it look like the blade part. Then we have the smooth grade. Excuse me. We have the smooth grade is for achieving a smooth finish as well. This is how it look like the surface part. And then the last one is the dead smooth uh, cut. We use this one for the finest finish cut, right? So in terms of the nature of the surface we want to achieve, files come in different grades. But aside from this, we also have another type of file based on the shape of the cut you want. Okay, so we have the flat and hand file. If you want to obtain flat surface, you make it of the flat and the hand file. Then if you want to get small radii and round holes, you make it of the round file. If you want to get various curves, okay, you want to get various curves, you make it of the half round file. If you want to get a dovetail joint or a triangular hole, you make it of a triangular file. If you want to get a very small V grooves, make it of the knife edge file. And lastly, if you want to get a rectangular or a square edges or a square edge, you make it of the square file. So these are based on the shape you want to achieve that you have. You make it of these different types of file. So it is also important that you properly select the correct file type so that you achieve efficient and accurate metal shaping. All right. I will say that let's now talk about chisels as one of the cutting tool. Yes, we also use the chisel for shaping. So chisel are robust shaping tools used for shaping metals, especially when other finishing methods are impractical. So there are cases where the fire or the saw might not be able to do the work. Then the chisel come in. Okay, so they also come in different style. So we have the flat chisel. So this one is made for leveling surfaces, for removing revealed, and for rough cutting sheet metal. This is a sample of it here. Consider it has a flat surface here. If you want to level, make it of it. Then we have the one that we call the cross-cut chisel. This is specialized for cutting keyways, spines, and slots. Okay, and this is a sample of it. Sometimes it is called the cape chisel. Okay, so it is used for specialized cutting such as spines, slots, and keyways. Then we have what we call the round nose chisel. The round nose chisel, sometimes sometimes we call the round nose chisel the half round chisel. Is used for cutting grooves in bearings and V-shaped grooves. So if you want to achieve this shape, the V-shaped grooves, you make it of the round nose or the half round chisel. And lastly, we have the diamond point chisel. As we see in form of diamond shape, is for cutting V grooves as well and oil wells in bearings. Okay, so these are the various cutting tools we have. And then before we conclude on that, we have the scrapers. The scrapers is actually made for surface refinement. They are precision tools designed to remove imperfection and achieve accurate flatness on surfaces that have been previously worked on. So what files cannot do or chisel could not do, the scraper will help in finalizing it. So it helps to remove any form of imperfection that chisel files cannot achieve. All right, so that we can get accurate flatness on the surface. Okay, this is a sample of it here. So it comes in different types too. We have the flat scraper. I can according to the name for scraping, right? It's used for making surfaces accurately flat. So if you want to get a perfect flat surface, you make it with a flat scraper. Okay? You make the flat scraper, and we have the half round scraper. This is used to remove eye spots on curved surfaces like holes and bearing. And the third one is the triangular scraper. This is ideal for awkward corners where other scrapers are difficult to use. Okay, so where you cannot use the half round scraper or the flat scraper because of the corner of the location, because of the location which might be a corner, then the triangular scraper comes in. It makes it easier to access that corner. Right? I will say that on cutting tools. I will now consider the driving tools now. The driving tools, like according to the name, they are made or are made mostly used for moving object into metals. Okay, used for moving object into metals, and these instruments are both hammers, punches, and screwdrivers. So when you make use of hammer, the action is called hammering. When you make use of punches, the action is called punching. And when you make use of screwdriver, the action is called screw driving. Okay, they are very, very crucial when it comes to assembling and disassembling metal work. Okay, so for the hammers, like we all know, we use hammers to move in metal heads and wooden handles. Punches, we use punches for punching holes, for driving out rivets, pins, and dowels. This is example of hammer, this is example of screwdriver, and this is example of punch. Then the screwdriver for fixing or removing screws by their head. Okay, we've talked about this in woodwork in our previous lessons. All right, now let's go into details on these tools. For the hammers, okay, like we said before, hammers are number one, they are indispensable tools. They are designed for specific tasks, and that task is to drive or to drive in objects into the metal. Okay, it comes in different form. We have the ball peen hammer. This one is for riveting conical end rivet, flat end striking. So if you want to if you want to strike, you want to strike in objects that are conical in shape, it is best to use this ball peen hammer. We have the cross peen hammer too. It's used for riveting in awkward places, flat end for striking too. You know, this is a sample of flat end of a hammer. This is not a cross peen hammer, but the back there is a flat peen part. The hammer has two parts. Okay, so the other side there is flat end. All right, we have the straight pin hammer too. We use it for riveting in V grooves, and we have the special hammer known as mallet. The mallet is of softer material because it's used for driving delicate objects that are very, very soft. So you don't make excuse me, you don't make use of this object when you are dealing with arts objects. All right, I won't say that. Let's proceed. We now talk about the punches and the screwdriver. Now, the punches, like we said, are driving tools for creating holes. If you want to make hole, you make use of the punches. All right, and it comes in different form. We have the pin punches. Pin punch. If you want to get a dowel pin, okay, we have the round punch. If you want to remove a round sleeve or shaft to make it of the round punch. We have the square punch if you want to remove a square bars or sleeve. Now let's talk about the screwdrivers. The screwdriver is for fastening screws, okay, like we said earlier, into metal. That different form too. You have the flat screwdrivers, We have the star screwdrivers, ratchet screwdrivers, and Allen key. Like we mentioned in our previous lessons, they are just made to drive screws into the metal. Okay, I hope we have learned something today. So we shall be drawing the curtain here today. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.